This site here we've had for the last 10 years. This used to be an active surface and subsurface mining area, and it was we acquired this as state forest in the last 10 years. And over that course of that time, in conjunction with DEP, they've done a large mine reclamation here, where they've regraded the land and tried to return it to its original contours. And now what we're doing is, in conjunction with PEC and volunteers and local volunteers, we're planting trees here, trying to reforest the area. Today we're planting white pine, Virginia pine, black locust, quaking aspen, and big-tooth aspen, as well as a few hybrid American chestnuts that the American Chestnut Foundation has been working on trying to restore. The Virginia pine especially grows real well in mine spoil areas. So does black locust. It's in the legume family, the bean family, so it actually fixes nitrogen in the soil and helps build the soil capacity back up. So over time, as these trees grow, they'll be putting more nutrients into the soil and then helping develop the site into a better area. The more trees you have, the more ability you have to absorb carbon dioxide and give off oxygen, so it's better for air quality. It's also better for holding the soil in the ground and keeping the soil from leaving the site as runoff through rainwater runoff, things like that. So there's a lot of benefits to planting trees. Before, when you walked through this area, there were a lot of mine pits, spoil pits, home banks, and things like that, and they wanted to try to reshape the land back to its original contour to try to get the water to flow where it should go.
In other words, they filled in a hole with the big rocks, and they used the smaller rocks, and then they put the topsoil back as best they could. Then after that, this operator up here, I believe, he brought a dozer with a ripper attachment on the back, which is like a big steel plow behind you. And he pulls that behind the dozer, and we call that ripping the mine site, which is like plowing a garden or plowing a field before you plant.
And you can kind of see these lines going through here. We like to try to plant them in those lines because they help, the furrows kind of help hold moisture.
Our spacing is 8 foot by 8 foot, which gives us approximately 680 trees per acre.
Within the next 2 to 3 years, these seedlings should be established, and if we come back here in 10 or 15 years, it's going to look a lot different than it does now.
At what point will it look like it,
like it was originally?
Yeah.
Probably in 100 years.
Right.
You can't think of forest in human terms because they live so much longer than us. So someone has to start. And there's an old Chinese proverb that one generation plants the trees, the next gets the shade.